Hi, it's Grandpa Butler. We're going to do next five or so paintings will be from Rick Steves' Europe feature a day calendar for 2021. So we're just taking that down. Lots of pretty pictures of Europe. And I was sitting in the doctor's office the other day waiting. I thought, okay, why don't I go into more sketching this week and then coloring and pick some pictures from the calendar that might be appropriate. So these are English red and ochre for one building. These are some shades of orange for the next building. A golden ochre here for a third building in the moss ring here. And we'll come back to these initial building colors on the other side. This is a cafe over here. Just try and remember to get the, and so as I'm thinking about it, get the awnings here to be a bright yellow. So after we do the buildings, and as we do the buildings, we'll do the canal, come back and do the sky. How's that? So let's push that up and get started. Push the crayons up. So what we have here for the roof, and there's light pencil in areas where there's not ink. So this is kind of an attempt to see what I like best. So typically I find it useful to color as if I am drawing the object. So when I leave some pigment down, so I'm going to have all these roofs basically the same colors, and where there's two roofs like this that are one's in the foreground, one's in the background, I'll put maybe a little extra red in there. And this roof line, I guess we'll conceive of it having horizontal lines, maybe a few vertical stripes in it. So, hey, I hope you're having a good week and taking care of yourselves. Okay, so those are the roof lines of the buildings. Now we'll get in the buildings themselves here. So again, this ochre color here for this building, and here's kind of a lower level on the building, and to make it so it's kind of more interesting, I'm going to put this as kind of a sunset kind of color in a minute. So we're not going to have any definitive shadows here. But even so, to make your watercolors interesting, it's nice to have some variation in the structure of things as you look at them. So right here we have some flowers, so maybe you do a little bit of bright red here. These are flowers here and a touch of yellow, and those will never be noticed. That's okay. Maybe if I do it now before I forget later, and those colors have a chance to work their magic, maybe that would work. Okay. So we're still on our initial ochre color buildings. The buildings actually in the picture have more shades, and there's actually more buildings than I've drawn here. Since this is kind of our way of having fun, rather than worry about all those buildings and all those colors, we're going for the kind of simplified version. And the way we're thinking about this is as if they're impressionist kinds of colors in buildings here. When I colored the buildings, I should probably also color. Looks like I didn't really do much canal bridge work here, but here the bridge is not. So here we'll put in some horizontal lines to be reflections here as we move across. Okay. And now do we want to start our new buildings there? New colors there. I think we do. So here we're going to go back to a slightly brighter shade of ochre. And I'm looking up at the, looks like from the picture now, I noticed that the chimneys are about the same colors as the roofs. So I should have had that out when I had that color of red in my hand. Be that as it may, we're always in for fun. So make sure I put a significant amount of pigment there and there. Okay, and okay, so the lighter ochre colors there, and we'll do an ochre back there. And then let's how about moss green on this building here. Kind of a dark ochre there, moss green here. Now, I didn't have the windows outlined in ink, and just put them in. So that'll be fun experiment to see if that makes a difference in what we can see as a window and whatnot. So now I come back to my original orange regular ochre here and English red here. Let's get some English red going down here and under there, and up and down here. So okay, that's kind of colorful. I think those are enough colors there. So we want whatever this is going to be here. I hadn't thought about that, but whatever I choose for the bridge, right, should be the same there. And I'm thinking for the bridge, I was thinking sort of crimson and there. So that's an opening there. So there's a building back there and a building here that we're seeing through the foundation of it through there. Okay. And as usual, in our rush to have a good time, I didn't pull these colors through the fence here as I ought to have done. So there's the fence on the bridge line. Okay. Come back here with our ochre and mix that in with the crimson here and along here. So here, why don't I have up and down? And maybe if I can do like get some crimson and do like big stone lookalikes here. That would be good. So let me do that. Okay. And building here. Oh, no. Actually more of a bridge there. Okay, big stone here. So when we dissolve these colors, they'll merge, but we also want to leave sort of the sense that there are big blocks of stone here that Roman soldiers gleefully carried themselves up, leaving their Serbian friends here, wherever this is, to enjoy their work and not making them do it themselves. Actually, this is probably Middle Age architecture. Okay, so coming back here to the bridge. Here we'll come over here, and suppose the angle is such that the view of the bridge extends out that far, and we'll have highlights. It's not the right kind of highlights there. Do that there, do a line there, and a line there. Okay. And come up there. Okay. So what we need to do is get this in here. Come worry about that in a second here. Let's get these other things colored up here. No, they don't look like much now. But it's fun when you put color to these grants to see them come alive. We're trying, desperately trying not to make it exactly uniform throughout, because we want to use some of the pigment to give some of the sense of colorful beauty in the world. So far, I think we're okay. Okay, building next. So again, I want to emphasize that these are impressionistic paintings, which means they look like young people having fun and accidentally, occasionally, turning out something kind of colorful and interesting. Not quite Monet level, but more like my grandkids in their 6th grade art class. And light up. Yeah, so far. Okay, so far I'm okay with that. So we'll come back at the end and do the sky behind here, which I'd kind of like, unless I'm going to chalk all this up to a kind of interesting and big mistake. I'd kind of like to come back and let me get a little bit of color there, color down there. Okay. Okay. Come over to the roof lines. Now your grandkids, when you do this, you'll be able to do a lot better because you don't have grandpa's neuropathy. But doing better is just a matter of something that brings you joy. And I'm having fun, so it's good enough. I was hoping that by drawing the windows in, it would be appear more readily in the picture sometimes. And just dabs here. I'll do it both ways here in days to come, and we'll see what we think of them. Okay, buildings. And maybe a little bit red behind here. Okay. So this is coloring it and then setting down and dabbing it. I know it takes a while. So these take about 20 minutes to color up because they're all unrehearsed and we're never sure what's going to happen. I do some 11 by 15s and they'll take an hour and a half, 2 hours to do. But then I'm off camera. I find that for this one, it was fun when at the doctor's office I had something I could do. My time sitting in the chair with a calendar. And that turned out to be these drawings, which may have been much more impressionistic than I made them. That is to say, maybe I put in too much detail. It's fun to have pigment go here if you do watercolor with a brush, you know how fun that can be. And Grandma got me these watercolors a year or so ago, and we've been experimenting the last 9 months again. And I'm not sure about underneath. Well, we should do under. So let me just grab a few colors to put in underneath the awnings here as part of the restaurant background. Okay, those are arbitrary things gathered. Felt like they might work. So I put the brown mostly on the bottom here, the street level, and we'll come back and get in our bridge colors. And as we get in the bridge colors up there, we don't want to mix it all together so we don't see the variegated patterns there. Just have fun here. So mostly Grandpa recommends dabbing rather than doing too much strokes here. If you stroke it too much over and over again, everything will be a gray. And you want to leave some of these colors. So I mix this crimson and a blue here, Prussian blue, to be the dark parts under the bridge, instead of going to a gray, because those two seem to be a gray that is, in a sense, more lively. Okay. So, all right. so far I'm okay with this. So what should we do here? How about if we just take some of our pigment there, all there, that all there, and get the stairs here going down. Now here I have to be really careful. If I too much stroking, instead of being two sort of colors that are complementary, it'll be just one kind of mess. Okay. Now the sky. So I got some yellow here, and I'm going to have a yellow sky, and the sun's coming up or just settling down behind here. And so what we're having here is we're going to have some red. So pick a red. Grandpa, you haven't used it before. How about this red here? I don't know if that's different enough. I'm wondering if I should have gone with the some other. So what I want to do is I want to get some of this sky in here. So I've got a feeling that I need to double down on around the buildings on the yellow and the red, so you can see where the sky is, and put a little maybe orange or blue, okay, around the buildings. See that? Okay. Put a little bit of orange here and there. I'm afraid that's going to be a disaster. Well, we'll see. So here's especially important to dab, right? Because we're having this kind of sunrise effect over this canal here. Should look at the calendar and see where it really is. Thinking this was somewhere near my ancestral home in Serbia, but I think probably not. Okay. Okay, so what I'm thinking of on the sky here, to get it a bit more airy look, I've got a little bit of white gouache that's mixed up over here. And I'll just put bits of it here and there. Give it that kind of Monet look. And I'm hoping that will rescue that roof line out of from the rest of the sky. Okay. Now maybe I'm putting too much in there. Yeah, I think I did. Oh, live and learn, Grandpa. Live and learn. Now we'll see what happens. Give it a minute to dry. Take a look here. And so, thinking about a sunrise, that kind of, we got some atmosphere in the sky here, some clouds. Pollution of some sort or another. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah, I think I may just touch up the outline on the roofs. So I've taken the tape off, and you can see that I did take my marker and just go where it met the sky, outline the buildings a little bit to give them a little bit more definition, and then and that's about it. Yeah, I'm not sure I like the greens here as a color to work with, so I don't know. Try different greens in the future for buildings. But all in all, it's colorful. I had fun. Thanks for watching.